Hi everyone, this is Dr. Manjula Prasad Vastrad, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Rachana Sharira in Rajeshwari Karpurmat Ayurvedical Medical College, Vijaypur. Today, I will discuss the external features of the medulla oblongata. The brainstem consists of three parts, the midbrain, pons and the medulla oblongata. So, medulla oblongata is the lowest part of the brainstem. This medulla oblongata connects the spinal cord to the cerebrum. Below the spinal cord extends. So this helps to connect the spinal cord to the cerebrum. So through these three components of the brainstem, the midbrain, pons and medulla oblongata, various types of ascending and descending tracts will pass. And medulla oblongata is very important part of the brainstem as it contains the respiratory and vasomotor centers. Then its location, this medulla oblongata is located in the anterior part of the posterior cranial fossa, and this extends from the lower border of the pons. This is the pons. From the lower border of the pons to the upper part of the spinal cord. Below spinal cord extends. Upper part of the spinal cord where exactly the first cervical nerve passes. So, where the first cervical nerve passes, till that the medulla oblongata extends. And its relations, anteriorly it is related to the meninges and posteriorly it is related to the cerebellum, because posteriorly it is completely covered by the cerebellum. Then its external features, medulla oblongata equally divided into two half, right and left, by an anterior median fissure and posterior median fissure, which is there on the posterior aspect. Later I will show you. Again, each half of this part divided into three parts: anterior region, lateral region, one more posterior region, with the help of two sulcus, that is anterolateral sulcus and posterolateral sulcus. The part which is there in between the anterior median fissure and anterolateral sulcus, this is the pyramid, and the part which is there in between anterolateral sulcus and the posterolateral sulcus is the lateral region. Same part which is there in the posterior aspect in between posterolateral sulcus and posterior median fissure becomes as the posterior region. So on this anterior region, so this one longitudinally elevated in the upper part. So this elevation is called as pyramid. In the lower part of this pyramid, some fibers of the anterior region are crossing to the left side, some fibers of the left side are crossing to the right side. So here crossing of nerve fibers takes place from right side to left side and left side to right side. This we are calling it as a decussation of pyramid. Here 80% of the nerve fibers are crossing from one side to another side. The 20% nerve fibers remain same. And then this medulla oblongata gives rise last four cranial nerves. So here this is the, already we know that there are 12 pairs of cranial nerves. So last four cranial nerves takes origin from this medulla oblongata. Here you are seeing this is the anterolateral sulcus. From anterolateral sulcus, in between the pyramid and olive, the roots of the hypoglossal nerve takes origin, and the posterolateral sulcus, in between the olive and lateral posterior region, there are three nerves takes origin. This is the root of the glossopharyngeal nerve, and this is the root of the vagus nerve, and these are the roots of the accessory nerve. And then this is pyramid. Lateral to this area, this is oval in shape on the lateral region. This oval area we are calling it as a olive. This oval shape is just because of the underlying nucleus of the grey matter, that is inferior olivary nucleus. So this about the anterior aspect of the medulla oblongata. Then I will tell the posterior aspect of the medulla oblongata. So I already told on posterior aspect also it is divided into equally two half by posterior median fissure. This is the posterior median fissure. Here Above, the area is having V-shaped groove or the depression. This V-shaped depression is because of the lower part of the floor of the fourth ventricle. So then below this we are going to see three longitudinal elevations. From medial to lateral I will name them. So first one is the fasciculus gracilis, then fasciculus cuneatus, and this is inferior cerebellar peduncle. If you want to tell from lateral to medial also, you can tell as inferior cerebellar peduncle. This is fasciculus cuneatus and fasciculus gracilis. Above this fasciculus gracilis and fasciculus cuneatus, here we are going to see expanded area. For this we are calling it as a tubercle, gracile tubercle, cuneati tubercle. These tubercles are due to again underlying mass of the grey matter, that is gracile nuclei, cuneati nuclei. And this one above this inferior cerebellar peduncle, the area, for this we are calling it as a tuber cinereum. Again this is also due to underlying mass of the grey matter, that is spinal nucleus of the trigeminal nerve. And this posterior aspect of the medulla oblongata, again we divided into two parts, upper open part, below closed part. This upper open part is because of the lower part of the floor of the fourth ventricle where central canal opens. Below, the closed part is in relation with the central canal which continues with the spinal cord. Through this the CSF, that is cerebrospinal fluid, passes. So lastly what we learned, the four cranial nerves also takes origin from this medulla oblongata. These are the external features of the medulla oblongata. In my next video I will go with the internal aspects of the medulla oblongata. Thank you.